All right. Welcome back, folks. This is The Truth Is, okay? I am your host, Peyton 3.0. Yes. Let me back off mic for a minute. I'm your host, Peyton 3.0. And this particular series is called The Truth Is, where I basically say the truth and my opinions. So, if you like what you hear today, please hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your friends. Help this video get seen by more people who need to see it by hitting that like button at least. So, the subject of today is a very deep one, although they're all deep, but this one is deeply personal. And there will be some people who relate, and there'll probably be plenty of people who won't, but everybody can learn from this. The division among black people and why I never felt united with my own race. Okay? This is The Truth Is. Take it away. So, the division of black people and why I never felt truly accepted by my own people, and in a way I have disdain towards certain black communities. Okay? And the only black communities I usually praise and look up to at this point are progressive black people. Okay. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have been ostracized by the black community at large. If you look at this picture here, you see the rainbow flags, the trans flag in the back. You see the black man with the rainbow flag on his head. Well, consider that to be me. Okay, act like that's me. There is a problem in many communities when it comes to the acceptance, even today, around the world, of gay men and women. But I'm specifically going to speak for gay men and color communities, but we're talking about my own experience here. So we're talking about the black community because I am black. I'm black and gay. And how ostracized I've been by I want to say more of like the working class of black people, the less fortunate of black people. Particularly not really the women per se, although there's a handful of women that feel the way about black gay men. We're talking about the men who don't identify as gay, who would ostracize me and put me as if I wasn't one of them, as if I wasn't a black man, that I was something else, that I was other, because I didn't exhibit heterosexuality. And because I am actually considered a double minority, which means I am black and I'm gay, so I'm between both two minorities, I've always felt I had more acceptance and identity with the gay movement, which at this point still tends to be the fastest civil rights movement of all the movements in this particular country of America, that is. Then I did with black because I had way less acceptance in the black community just because I was gay from men. Anyway, from men. Then, and I had way more acceptance in the gay community. At least for the fact that I was gay. But then the issue would come up of, and believe it or not, there are racial issues that exist in the LGBT or the gay community. We're specifically talking about the gay community of men alone. There is an issue of discrimination among race, even in the gay community. So what should bring us together, just like the black skin should bring us all together as black men. Unfortunately, people will find ways in that particular community to find things to separate us, as if you're lower on the totem pole because you're not the epitome of what we need to be to supposedly move forward, right? While the irony of that is that a lot of the times, unfortunately, these two communities are not moving forward, even if we weren't in the picture, the way they think that they are moving forward or want to move forward anyway, for many reasons. But we're not going to get into that. Or the black community will try to say that you're black before you're gay, or something stupid like that. And so I have been traumatized on both sides, but I thought I had a safe haven in the gay community of men, realizing that that wasn't the case, especially since I was always a larger, fat, black gay male, okay, which caused other sorts of problems in a way that was looked at in the gay community. Okay, I wasn't good enough, especially in the gay communities that are in the cities like West Hollywood and gay communities that are like that. Very toxic. Never was welcome in that community. Did not fit what I was supposed to fit. And even if you were a fit gay black man in places like West Hollywood, in the gay community, you were still ostracized in a lot of ways. Especially the darker your skin was. The lighter your skin was, the better off you were. The more ambiguous you were, the better off you were. Such as Latino, who are lighter skinned anyway. Mexicans that were lighter skinned. Oh yes, we're going there because it is the truth, and there's nothing else you can do to change that. It is still the world we're living in, no matter what form it is taking on and transformed into. You always have to be aware of the signs when words aren't spoken. Okay? So I started to feel that I had no place or side that I could truly identify with, at least as far as camaraderie, at least as far as community. You know, I ended up taking what I can get from both communities and settling with that. But even that wasn't really working out per se. Really. So I found myself, and let me make this clear, that I'm in love with me, generally as a black man. Love this black skin, love this black body, love the fact that I'm a gay man, love other males, love all that, okay? It's what I had to face from the other human animals between those two communities, that is a problem. So I decided to really get into myself one day and focus on me. And I really became my own individual that stopped trying to hang out with people all the time and stopped trying to ask for favors and things and to be supported in my dreams and all that, because I just wasn't really receiving that. And when I started to really get into myself, when I really started to get into who it is that I was when I didn't have those identities staring me in the face, that's when a lot of things changed for me mentally. And I started to develop the mental tools that I needed to protect myself from the outside forces. That was the other human animals. I started to see things for what they were and what shapes all of us in our environment as human animals. And I use that weapon, I would call it, of knowledge to move in my environment in a very strategic way. Because now that I have all this newfound knowledge and things about the world and us and the many difficulties and complicated things that make us who we are as human animals at large, I started to use that knowledge as best as I could to my advantage, but mainly to protect myself from being hurt, from all the trauma that I had picked up over all these years. I was trying to let the trauma go, despite the fact that people were the same. I wasn't the same. I had elevated my mindset, elevated who I was and how I moved and how I spoke and how I presented. And that gives me so much more. That's what gives me so much confidence now as a person, so much strength despite the challenges that are bestowed before me, just because of, I don't know, the color of my skin, or I'm not black enough, or you're too fat, or whatever it is, you're a little too gay, with all the criticisms that bestow me. I get power from knowing who I am. I get power and confidence from gathering knowledge that it's actually empowering for me to actually use that to soothe myself and get myself brilliantly through life as best as possible. And I love to spend a lot of time on my own by myself, is when I feel the best with my little gadgets and technology that I love so much. Just gathering more knowledge and trying to apply what I can to get an advantage as somebody who's always going to have to try 1,000 times harder in society than some people who are considered privileged just by the way that things are set up in the hierarchy. And that was my own personal story of where do I currently stand, you may ask. Even though there's been more acceptance in the Black male community of gay men, there's not a lot of real acceptance when it comes to where it counts. Okay? In the United States anyway. Okay? And I have other reasons that I don't also, besides just not being accepted for being a gay man in the Black community, that I don't identify with a lot of Black men that are not like progressive men doing some great things. It's because of the kind of culture that's being pushed onto, especially younger Black men, troubled Black men, certain mentalities that no matter who you are, I'm just not getting with. I ain't getting with it. Okay. And as far as the gay community, the gay men are still the same. Unless the gay man is usually from a small town, it's like a small gay scene. The community attitudes are different. It is about togetherness. It is about love for each other, because it's such a small community and you're really outnumbered. There's only a really small amount of you. The attitude is not this toxic, vicious venom. You know what I'm saying? Like poison. But in the bigger gay communities, there are huge problems when it comes to talking about the gay male community specifically that really need to be addressed. And the same thing, of course, in the Black community. So really, I just end up these days focusing on myself and how can I advance myself, right? How can I take myself further in the world that I realize what is really going on within it, okay? And that's what I work towards every single day now. Focus on me. Focus on my goals and how to actually tackle them and make them a reality in the capitalist world that we're in, by bettering myself and other skills, okay, that actually make me more powerful out here. So thank you so much. This has been another episode of The Truth Is. Leave a comment down in the comment section. Let's have a discussion. Have you had similar experiences, or have you been a person that's on the outside looking in? Now, for my electronic dance community. These social medias are for you. So with Snapchat, of course, Twitch, get 3 free songs by getting on the email list, folks, okay? You have to get on the email list and get 3 free songs as a gift from me. Because like I said, I'm independent. I'm running the show myself. I wear all the hats right now. And it's important for the people who really want to support to get on the email list, okay? Instagram, TikTok, all that. Get on it. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe so more people can see this video. It needs to be shared around. And the only way to do it is by interacting, leaving a comment, or hitting like, okay? Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next episode of The Truth Is. Bye-bye.